Welcome to an Retellings, the podcast where we explore all the ways old tales are made new by making them our own. We have been forgetting a little thing called spring for far too long, and this is how we start making up for it. I'm your host, Jasmine Garcia, and joining me today are...
Your master of ceremonies, your other host with the most, here to judge the whimsigoth tastes of all of our friends, it's River.
Slowly coming out of my own underworld of repressed childhood YA novels, I am Sam Marchioni.
I'm Ellie McConaughey, and I set myself the challenge this time of making a pitch that was straight. I failed miserably.
Wow, what a surprise.
I was gonna say...
I'm Gillian, and I was going to take up the lesbian duty from Ellie, but then, no.
We can take it up together.
Isn't that what it's all about?
Aww.
I'm back again, and about time too. Surprise! Did you miss me?
What's up, chat? My name's Mikey, and it's my first time on the show.
Woo! Unless you count Papa Jonathan Harker.
That's true. That's true.
So yes, not only are we making up for the fact we have been lacking in Hades and Persephone episodes on the equinoxes, we've also been not lacking in our retellings for over a year. So I guess now we're making up for it by having two in the span of 2 months. We are kind of treading on ground that has been tread so much in recent years. We're doing Hades and Persephone retellings, baby.
Woo!
Has it possibly become overdone? Maybe, but I'm never going to get tired of it. I don't know about you guys.
Consider, we get to make it even more queer.
Hell.
Well, like, Hades and Persephone is overdone, but it's also like one of those things that I feel like most people play it, forgive the phrasing, extraordinarily straight in their retelling. People mostly just do the basic story, but with their slightly new setting. I feel like actual alterations to the base concept aren't actually done very often.
It's also interesting because it's like, while it is overdone, it's only been overdone in the last like 10, 15 years at most. Like there was just a couple of Tumblr posts that kicked off Hades and Persephone shipping, and then it went wild.
There's definitely that, and also much like how Beauty and the Beast is a direct reason why monster romance is on the rise, I kind of think it's the same thing with Hades and Persephone retellings, even though, of course, the Greek myth that actually inspired Beauty and the Beast was Eros and Psyche. Like, the vibes definitely fit Hades and Persephone more, at least in terms of how it's usually interpreted these days.
I mean, the central message of Beauty and the Beast is kidnapping will eventually lead to love.
No!
This is rage bait. This is rage bait.
Are we gonna have this argument right now?
This is rage bait. I am doing a bad take on purpose.
I haven't seen Mike this pissed off since I tried to do the Luke Skywalker warm criminal bit.
Oh no, that was exactly what I was thinking of, Sam. I was gonna be like, do you want to have that again?
You know what? I was about to feed into the rage bait, but I love that the people I've surrounded myself with did it for me. Thank you.
Jillian, I love you. I love you so much, Jillian.
Anyway, we have got a rubric once again made by River, because again, one of the charms of this particular sub-series is that it really brings out the former gifted kid energy from this group.
Because we all want a good grade in pitching things to our friends, a thing that is normal to want and possible to achieve. The following qualifications for this here pitch are as follows. Number 1, the romance factor. At the end of the day, Hades and Persephone are, for lack of a better terminology, the acceptable Greek mythology ship, the one you don't have to write 12 dissertations about defending on why you like them. So we're trying to enhance that. We are trying to lean into that. We are letting ourselves have a little bit of romance in this here place. And I will use my standard qualifications for the romance factor. Does it end happily and is getting the girl on the goal sheet, as it were? Number 2, how whimsigoth is it? To quote my internet boss, Persephone and Hades are sort of the OG whimsigoth pairing. As such, we are here to steal Tim Burton's crown for ourselves, because we can do it better, motherfuckers. So how whimsigoth is your pitch? Number 3, prep time. I figured I would reward the fact that some of these fuckers are rocking in with PowerPoints. Not rocking in with a PowerPoint is perfectly acceptable, but I would like it to be a coherent pitch. Just get me from A to B, and we will all have a grand old time. Number 4, thematics. Hades and Persephone, at the end of the day, are representations of life, death, rebirth of spring, and all of that fun times. They are not truly people. They are representations of elements of nature and existence. As such, we should probably play with some thematics about the nature of life, death, rebirth, and whether or not Persephone is the true queen of the underworld, because the mystery cults won't tell us things because they were mystery cults. Anyway, point is that I figure we should have some thematic through line in here for fun points. By the way, these are all out of 5 because I only just finished coffee. I'm not trying to hate myself with math. Finally, bribery and bonus points. Y'all know who I am as a person. Y'all know I can be bribed very easily, and I am not immune to shenanigans. As such, I am always here to be bribed with bonus points to improve your score in case you, like Sam, need to win.
And because Sam is truly the Brinley Mulligan of our group.
That might be the nicest thing anyone has ever said to me.
And additionally, folks, I've decided that I'm tired of just kind of being host by default. I'm going to be helping River with tallying the points as well. So all of your scores will be an average between the two of us. So that means if you fail to bribe River, you may be able to bribe me. We shall see.
And fair, much easier to bribe than I am.
Teehee.
All right, first on my docket, we're just going to go in order of who I have written down. Oh, Sam.
Oh, River.
You're up first.
All right.
Let's go.
Give me just a second to get the slides going.
Oh my god.
Did you think we were joking about the PowerPoint?
No, I didn't. You'll see when it comes to my turn.
Yeah. Guys, gals, non-binary pals, Demisem Entertainment presents my pitch for Hades and Persephone. My pitch is Hayden Christensen for Hades, Natalie Portman for Persephone.
Oh, for God's sake, Sam.
That is your entire pitch. I love it. Who could have foreseen this? Not even Yoda could have foreseen this.
I'm kidding. Let's do this for real. Demisem Entertainment's literary branch presents The Ruins of Love. So stop me if you've heard this one. It's a story about some young, unsuspecting woman who gets pulled into filling the role of Queen of the Underworld, Goddess of Spring, etc., etc., usually as some kind of reincarnation shit, and the author has often made this an empowering coming-of-age story, but it's also clearly borrowing more from Beauty and the Beast, Eros and Psyche, but also Paradise Lost, because it's Hades, and we're getting him mixed up with both Thanatos and Lucifer. This is primarily brought to you by The Goddess Test by Amy Carter. This book was in my teen years. I was kind of fixated on it. There are other books that go into this more, trust me. Anyway, let's, reverse this shit, shall we? Ooh. What happens when the Queen of the Dead becomes a widow? For our trope list, we have role reversal, kind of, reincarnation, kind of, so much pining and angst, debates about morally gray and ethical quandaries, just a little generational trauma as a treat, mortal/immortal plus age difference with an older femme character, pastel goth, Natch, second love, hurt comfort, and Sam's dramaturgical nonsense up the wazoo because y'all know me.
It was so nice of you to bring your AO3 tags for this.
Thank you. So let's talk about backstory, starting pitch. For centuries now, the Earth has lain trapped in an ice age, the after effects of a divine war that ended with the unexpected and ultimate sacrifice of the 6 children of Kronos and Rhea. The old world has died, but the new world struggles to be born as a grieving Persephone sits her husband's throne and will not leave it, and humanity struggles to survive in the world above. Continuing with the whole new structure of things, let's take a look at who's on Olympus now. We've got Athena, Aphrodite, Triton, Psyche, Hephaestus, Apollo, Artemis, Ares, Hermes, Calliope, and Dionysus. Now, you're all smart people. I know you can count. You're going, wait a minute, that's only 11. Yeah, let's talk about who took what. Athena has ended up in Zeus's spot as ruler of Olympus, not because everybody suddenly got feminist, but because even Greek gods are not immune to parentifying older sisters. Triton, the son of Poseidon and Amphitrite, took over dad's duties. Psyche has kind of stepped up and merged Hera's duties as goddess of marriage and family with Hestia's whole hearth and home thing. She very emphatically does not outrank Aphrodite, because we're not here for that drama. Psyche, at the end of the day, just wants to go home to her husband and her baby and just try to help out as best she can. Dionysus has had to step up and absorb a lot of Demeter's role, which bums him out because he misses the theater. Calliope has picked up some of what Dionysus dropped, but she's also kind of taking on some of Athena's old crafts goddess-related territory. And they're all kind of feeling the absence of a 12th member. Things are feeling imbalanced. So, let's talk about what's going on down in the underworld. Persephone, as mentioned, has been in deep mourning since the loss of both her husband and her mom. She's on the throne of the underworld full time. And her daughters, Melanoia and Macaria, are serving as her lieutenants, but they're also kind of aware that, yeah, mom's grieving. Valid. We want to support her in that. We're grieving too. That's our dad and our grandma we're talking about. But we also know that it's affecting the mortals, and we kind of feel like that affects the underworld in turn. And so Athena, completely expert in relationships as she is, basically tells them, look, fix the balance of the world. I don't care how you do it. Maybe your mom needs, like, a Persephone of her own. And after the girls take a minute to be like, okay, let's process what our cousin aunt just said. And, okay, we're not equipped for this. We're death deities. Let's go talk to Aphrodite and Psyche. And this is where the shenanigans begin. So, we try, this kind of happened before. Let's see about trying to get, like, Adonis back in the mix. It goes badly. A couple of minor gods try to get involved because they're, like, gunning for more power and stuff. Persephone has had enough of this. She understands what is happening, and she has gone to the surface for some alone time, where she meets Talus, who is a 27-year-old mortal man. He's been trying to figure out how to make greenhouses and advance agriculture in the current freeze. And no, this is a real thing. Like, I looked it up on Wikipedia's section. There was this thing about the Roman Emperor Tiberius, who was prescribed cucumbers as a thing for his health. And cucumbers are very temperamental, but they had to find a way to stop them from dying. So basically, they planted them in carts, and they'd keep them outside during the day, and then bring them inside at night and cover them with either, like, an oiled cloth or selenite to keep it stable. And I'm like, oh, you Romans, that is fucking incredible. Anyway, he's a total soft boy. He just treats her like a regular person because, of course, divine being disguises themselves as human. And Persephone is conflicted TMCR because, grief and shit, but she does also keep sneaking up to see him. And whenever she does, spring, like, kind of pops back up. And, new problem, as anybody who lives anywhere in the world will tell you, the weather, yo-yoing back and forth willy-nilly, is also bad for mortals, and Athena is not happy. So, we are now faced with 3 primary challenges. Number 1, Persephone has to come to terms with the idea of moving on from Hades, submitting to the mortifying ordeal of being known by telling Talus the truth about who she is and what being with her actually means. Talus has to decide if he's willing to take on not only loving a goddess, but becoming a god and her consort, and dealing with the eternally messy family that is the Olympian pantheon. And they also have to go through together the nonsense by which a mortal becomes immortal, and hopefully come out of it still wanting to be together. And you might be wondering, how does this end? I'm not telling. Because this actually feels like something I want to write, like, properly, and I want to keep it to myself. And then someone can make it into 12 episodes of TV. Like, go nuts with the Tumblr edits. And if you're thinking, okay, Sam, we know you. You gotta have more than that. Fine, you can have a mood board. Found, like, some nice little vibes of, like, snow-covered ancient Greek ruins, ghostly dancing, flowers with frost and, like, coming out of stone, ghostly hands grasping one another, some nice pomegranate visuals, obviously. And I did put in a playlist. So I've got the Candlelight mix of Everytime We Touch because I am that bitch. Sam Smith's Stay With Me, a acoustic version of Kylie Minogue's Can't Get You Out of My Head. Refractory Period, who wrote the theme song for my podcast, have a cover of Fleetwood Mac's Dreams that I really like. Epic 3 from the Hadestown OBC, David Bowie's Within You from Labyrinth, Avril Lavigne's I'm With You, Crimson and Clover by Pom Pom Squad, Black Hole Sun by Nuella, I See You Mike, I Know You Recognize the Willow shit, I Want to Live from the Baldur's Gate 3 OST, Let It, Her, Go, which is a mashup by Samsui, So Sick by Neo, California Dreamin' by the Mamas and the Papas, and Love Someone New from the highly underrated Over the Moon. And also, when this becomes an audiobook, I want Amber Gray to read it. That's all. For real this time. Stay warm.
Oh, damn.
Questions, comments, concerns?
I was muted.
Yeah, I think a lot of us were,
You
Mikey.
were following the rules.
I
can't blame you for that.
That's true. Sam, I really want to know if this playlist will be available on major music platforms and if perhaps there will be a link in the show notes.
I have basically abdicated Spotify for various reasons, but
For sure.
I could make a YouTube playlist, I guess. I can give you a little YouTube playlist as a treat.
I was going to say, make it sound like such hard work when they're, that they would do this anyway.
I'm fascinated by your musical choices. Why Everytime We Touch?
So it's specifically the Candlelight version, which is the soft piano version that is achingly romantic. The Candlelight mix of Everytime We Touch is one of the most romantic things I've ever experienced.
I got next on my docket, Gillian.
Hi.
Hi,
Your
Gillian.
turn.
I have the thing that I do sometimes where I plan this shit and then have an idea last minute. And last time I stuck with the thing that I planned. But last night I worked on the thing last minute. I didn't make a PowerPoint like I said I was going to do in the chat. It's called 6 months at a time. So we have our protagonist, Stephanie. She's in a bit of a dilemma. For as good as she's got it elsewhere, she got good grades, good friend group, good relationship with her mom, there's only one huge, big problem. Her love life. Her friends started calling her Persephone. Well, didn't start. Stephanie was already a family nickname. Her baby cousin didn't pronounce the T's too well. They called her Persephone because her relationship lasted at most 6 months. The summer before her sophomore year at college, Steph sees an anonymous listing on Facebook Marketplace for a sublease. Their roommate's studying abroad, and they'll need to cover rent and all that. It's fully furnished, pet-friendly. Much as Steph loves her circle and her mom, she wants some more out of life. They commute. It's usually fine, but you need to spread your wings a bit. But then, so it goes well. She moves in, and it is a goth paradise. She meets up with this other girl. Her name's Cora. She has a dog named Kirby. Oh, the dog's a Greek shepherd. There's a troublesome landlord named Karen. Not that much of a Karen, but she gets there at times. We got some forced proximity, roommates to lovers, some shenaniganery. I'm not gonna get points of the preparedness, so all that fluffy good shit.
I have but one question, Gillian.
I have but possibly one answer.
As a connoisseur of the roommates to lovers, are you planning on having the reveal of the infatuation and or crush and or being in love with via a drunken stumbled night out that we both pretend didn't happen until the following morning where we are carefully trying to egg out? Do you remember what you said last night?
Yes, the love is requited. They're just stupid!
Can you give us a little bit more of an idea of, just general personality and vibes of our leads?
Okay, so Steph, she's a bit of a cynic, but also a bit of a people pleaser. Cora's kind of chill, but also simultaneously a little bit more optimistic, but tries to play not edgy, but tries to play the brooding. That one Lisa Frankenstein quote about the Smiths would be her. Or no, The Cure, not the Smiths.
I have the cure. Ooh. Oh. No. It's not that kind of cure. It's a band. They can't make you better. I mean, they can, but emotional.
But also the Smiths is in there.
Okay, I do find it interesting that you're kind of doing two different versions of names that Persephone has been called because, of course, she was originally Kore. So it's almost like a finding both sides of herself. And that is not what the modern interpretation of their relationship is about. I mean, Grace Babcock once wrote, "Why do the young poets all write about Persephone? Maybe it's because we can relate to a goddess, to being half sunshine and half grave."
I support all of this immensely.
Yeah.
I don't have any questions. I would just like to reiterate, Gillian, I love you.
And yes, definitely bonus points for including Cerberus.
Good dog, best friend.
Listen, any good Hades and Persephone myth should involve the puppy.
Puppy!
I was saving the puppy for my bribery points.
Duly noted.
Whoppy.
My bribery points are... I'm gonna have soundtrack in my bribery points, but...
I just assumed that everybody expected the puppy, and therefore it was a given puppy was there.
I have Falling Behind by Leifei on my soundtrack. A lot of Florence, a lot of Hosier. As it is written, so it shall be. This is the way.
It's the rules of D&D character soundtrack. You gotta have Florence, you gotta have Aurora, and you gotta have, who would be...
You gotta have Marina. Somewhere.
Ellie, those are your rules.
Yes, true.
I was gonna say I
good rules.
I was gonna say I don't follow this, and then I remembered that my latest D&D character has King by Florence and the Machine and Northern Attitude by Noah Kahn, but specifically the version featuring Hosier. So
You probably also want Hosier on there somewhere, yeah.
yeah. Oh, also, you definitely want the Amazing Devil.
Oh, yeah.
I am nothing if not a Joey Beatty supporter in this here household. The Amazing Devil, my beloved.
Amazing Devil, my beloved.
I'm too old to know who the Amazing Devil is. Oh no.
Okay,
I have reached finally the point in my
Mikey,
life.
You watched The Witcher, right?
Yeah.
You liked Yaskier, right?
Yeah.
Amazing Devil is his band with a friend of his.
Fuck yeah.
They have like 3 or 4 albums. You should go listen to them. They have a song called Drinking Songs for the Socially Anxious, which includes the line, "'Cause if God made us all in his image, then God's a fucking nerd."
Ah! Okay, I should listen to that.
And the token Amazing Devil is Wild Blue Yonder, if that...
Absolutely.
Without you, I'm strong. You told me I was younger, that I was filled with wonder. How wrong you were. For you, my lungs, I would have gone so much blonder. Seen that wild blue yonder and said, let's end this too.
If it makes you feel better, Mike, I only ever heard of them because River basically gave me that very similar spiel. We can.
Have you heard of the Proto Men?
I've never heard of either of them till now.
Listen, I didn't know what was cool when I was at the age when I would be into the music that was big right now, so I really am not now.
Stop making a Simpsons joke, Ellie.
My only claim to having been into something before it was cool was that I was into Chapel Roan early.
Hey, I was into DVD collecting way before it was cool.
Me too. I was into Kamen Rider before it was cool, and it will be cool one day. All of you will watch Kamen Rider.
I have enough mutual friends who are into Kamen Rider, and that is...
I will give you recommendations after the podcast.
Hell yeah.
Nice. All right. Who's up next, River?
Oh, Alex.
Yes.
It is your go.
Alrighty then, and let's sit back, relax, and enjoy a bit of stop-motion animation musical madness. For my pitch is very much Tim Burton inspired. Maybe even get him to direct if I can. You know, who knows?
I will not let that stand. You want Henry Selick.
Yep, I was going to say the same thing, and I didn't want to interrupt.
Either way, I'm fine with either.
No, it's gotta be Selick.
Okay, fine, it'll be Selick. Basically, I'm going to be taking elements from both Nightmare, a dash of Corpse Bride, and a little bit of Hundreds of Beavers. Because why not? For slapstick. So, our pitch starts in the underworld with a little song, not only essentially giving Hades a big old "You're the Greatest" number, but also introducing us to the underworld itself. And of course, Cerberus is there, right at Hades' side, because of course he is.
Does Cerberus talk in this?
No, he does not. He's much like Zero. He only barks.
You know what? Fair enough. I love Zero.
Next up, this is a part of where the nightmare inspiration comes in.
You mean the King of the Dead with a dog companion wasn't a nightmare inspired?
We see Hades sitting upon his throne, tired and bored of the same old things, and decides, you know what? I'm gonna go up to the surface world for a little bit, see what's up there. And that's when he finds Persephone. Did I forget to mention Hades' head looks like a skull here?
We can live like Jack and Sally if you want.
What? Can you blame me? Hades basically is up there, finds Persephone, he's like, ooh, I want to impress this girl. I like her. And that's when the two meet, and we go into our third song, in which Hades is trying to impress Persephone the entire way, but slapstick shenanigans get in the way. Accidentally bumps into a tree, like he falls down. Basically, the whole crock pot of slapstick in this one scene. But she laughs along the way, thinking it's cute. I was trying to do it. And instead of kidnapping her, she agrees to go with him. And that's when their first date starts. Of course, shenanigans ensue because of Cerberus, because he's getting a little jealous as that Hades has someone else to give attention to. Of course, as Hades calms him down, and he begins to like Persephone, as she also gives him pets and even her plant-made treats. And we basically continue seeing them enjoy one another's company until Hades realizes, oh crap, she's got to go back up because eventually there's going to need to be pretty flowers and everything again. And this is where we get one of our final songs, as Hades sends her back up, tears in his sockets, basically. And essentially, it says that she'll be back again someday, as we end with a reprise of the beginning song, but this time including Persephone. As for casting, I haven't decided fully yet, but I know I want Chris Sarandon in one of the roles to pay a little tribute. I would have gotten Catherine, but, unfortunately she's gone.
She's sadly literally in the underworld now.
And this timeline was forever doomed once again.
Yep.
Okay, Canadian, but also, hi.
Are you going to pretend that we haven't doomed this timeline again?
Oh yeah, you're right.
I'm having trouble deciding who would be in the cast.
Might I suggest Tom Sturridge for Hades?
Ooh.
You know what? That actually works.
You just want Tom Sturridge in a project we're allowed to like him in again.
Fair enough. Oh, also, I forgot to mention, the Underworld takes a lot of inspiration from Halloween Town. Like, very much inspired by it.
Is Danny Elfman writing all the music?
I was gonna say, if that first number isn't just Dead Man's Party in a different key, then what's the fucking point?
I mean, I'm thinking of bringing Danny in, but then again, I'm not sure if those allegations have been disproven, so...
Oh, I didn't hear
I feel like what you keep trying to do is you keep trying to offer Jazz reasons why movies you already like are retellings, actually.
Is it so wrong, though?
He doesn't have to. Nightmare Before Christmas is already eligible because of Santa Claus.
Yay!
Wait, Alex, are you a fan of Nightmare Before Christmas?
We couldn't tell.
No, duh! As for Persephone, I still haven't decided. I'm thinking maybe Jenna Ortega? I'm not decided yet, though. Maybe Melissa Barrera. I haven't decided.
My vote's for Melissa because, one, she deserves more work. Two, I know for a fact she can sing, and as much as I love Jenna, I've never heard her sing.
I know I want it to be stop motion animated, because of course I do. Yeah. I know I want to have some Broadway talent as part of the secondary cast, especially in that first song.
Yeah, get some Hadestown alums, maybe.
Say James Monroe Iglehart. Say James Monroe Iglehart. Please say James Monroe Iglehart.
Oh, of course I'm going to add him. Are you nuts?
I was gonna say, if you say Alex Brightman or anyone in Helliver...
Alex Brightman is so obvious it hurts.
I was tempted to bring him in, just so we could have a little Beetlejuice cameo.
No one say the name again.
Every time I think I'm a theater kid, you'll just blow me out of the goddamn water, I swear.
That was my entire experience on being involved with the theater company we were all in. I'm forgetting all kinds of names today. People would keep talking about, oh, but this person on Broadway and this person and this person. I'm like, I've never heard any. I am such a bad musical fan.
No, you're not. We are not gatekeeping in this house.
Why are we using Beetlejuice for Alex Brightman's level of understandability when Dead End is right there? Justice for Dead End Paranormal Parks.
Yes!
So help me God!
Yes!
I would, but that's owned by Netflix, and I don't want this ending up on a streaming service, so...
It'll end up on one eventually.
Well, yeah, but I want it to be, at first in theaters.
Your goal is for it to get made by Apple TV, so it can be really, really good, and then they never advertise that it exists.
No, I'm actually thinking Warner Brothers.
In this economy?
You want to risk it getting fucking Batgirled?
Well, I mean, after Zaslav's out of there, and we have someone who doesn't like doing that sort of tax write-off crap.
Dude.
Warner Brothers still exists? Man, I missed something.
Now, the art style, especially on the characters, I'm thinking maybe a mix of Tim and Visipop. I haven't decided yet. Would be an interesting way of doing things.
Can we please have something that leaves the Wutzler BMI index?
I mean, and maybe we could have like a parody version of him as a cameo in the background. I mean, who's to say he's not dead by at the time?
Alex, River means someone who's not a toothpick.
I mean, Cerberus wouldn't be a toothpick.
Do those people exist in Tim Burton's world?
Yeah, but they're bad people.
Same with Vipsy Pop, the honey.
I mean, there's the family that does that. That's our job, but we're not mean.
Exactly. The corpse family isn't a toothpick. And there would be characters who aren't toothpicks in this.
Look, River, we can have characters who are shaped like toothpicks. How bad could it be?
Ellie, you're a monster.
Killing you with hammers in Minecraft. Wait, they don't have hammers in Minecraft.
But, yeah.
Get
Anyway.
the character design team from She-Ra and the Princesses
Hold on.
of Power.
There you go. I like that.
All right. Oh, Mike.
Oh, yes. Is it my turn then?
It is your turn.
Oh, dear. So, you remember all those categories you listed earlier?
I did, yes.
I am about to get 0 in a very specific one of them.
I believe in you.
Because I am not very good at reading sometimes when I get excited to hang out with my friends. And I thought I was appearing on in each retelling, not in our retelling. And I have prepared nothing. But the good news is that's kind of where I like to live. And I have been crafting a story while the rest of you have been pitching. So
Exciting.
here we go. We have 2 protagonists, obviously, Persephone and Hades. Hades is a down on his luck, dour, very goth, very wispy gentleman who runs a goth coffee bar in the city. It is a place that is mostly frequented in the middle of the night by people who want caffeine in the middle of the night and want it to be served in a place where there are curtains on all the windows and the lights all look like candlelights. Our other heroine, Persephone, is a young woman who has just moved to this city. She is newly out as having discovered what gender she is. So Persephone is a chosen name. It might be inspired by the incredible performer on Dropout.tv. I don't know. But she has lived entirely a closeted, repressed, and restricted life. Her parents were very, very religious. And getting out of college after she discovered who she was, she has moved as far away from them as she can get to the big city to try and find herself. But she is still, even though she has discovered herself, she's still got some of the trappings of that. So like she dresses in, bright colors and she likes pink a lot and, all of the things that she was denied when she was younger. She's trying to find a place to work in the city and she is putting applications in any place she can find. She still thinks that you can walk into a place and put an application down the way it used to work. That's not how it works anymore, kids, just so you know. When your parents tell you that, they're wrong. And so she's taking a walk in the city, trying to find different places that she might look for employment. She begins to cross the road and we hear a loud honking of a truck. And then we find her on the other side of the street. Perfectly fine. Nothing happened at all. She dodged the truck.
You didn't.
She continues wandering through the city and finds herself in a very goth coffee shop where a gaunt but beautiful man is serving coffee alongside his dog Spot. There is no one else in the coffee shop. She bonds with him over the course of the night. They talk about all of their frustrations. Hades about how his older brother owns big businesses and doesn't want to share and thinks his little brother is a failure. Her about her parents and the way she grew up. And we'll say they have a magical night together. We'll fade to black because it's that kind of story. Or maybe it's Bridgerton. I don't know. Maybe we don't fade to black. But And then she, in the morning, promising to come back and find him again, leaves the coffee shop and wakes up in the hospital because she absolutely did get hit by that truck. And during her near-death experience, she traveled to the underworld and met the man of her dreams. So now she has to figure out whether this was all a hallucination or whether something really strange did happen to her. The thing is, when she opened the door to the cafe, Hades wasn't paying attention. And Spot ran out the door too. And he jumps up onto her bed. And Hades, realizing what happened, now has to look for his dog and also the love of his life. And she is using Spot to find Hades. And so they are going through both the living world and the dead world, trying to find each other with the help of a magical dog. And, eventually finding not only each other, but their family and the place where they belong. I think somewhere between the dead and the living, because, you know, I don't want to just kill her off, but also like, you know, Hades is of the dead. So I think it's going to be a sort of, oh, you know what? Her really overprotective and conservative mother comes to town at some point during the movie. That's going to be one of our conflicts. And so in order to allow her to bond with her mother and maybe finally fix this relationship, Hades finds a way to have her spend, as is tradition, 6 months in the underworld and 6 months in the living world. And the mom just thinks she's going on work trips for 6 months at a time. And they lived happily ever after. I'm sure there's a lot more conflicts and things to happen, but that was the basic idea I came up with.
Can I completely ruin the mood by potentially pitching a title for this?
Please.
Ooh, Call Me By Your Dead Name.
Oh my god. That's incredible.
I'm sorry. But it came into my head and would not leave.
Never apologize for greatness.
Truly, though, it should be the name of whatever the coffee shop is.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Jazz saved it.
And obviously, it should start with falling in love in a coffee shop by Landed Pig.
Of course.
Or maybe
I was just thinking as you all were talking, and I was like, I've seen musical Persephone and Hades. I've played action game Persephone and Hades. I've, I just finished watching Chaos, which is a very different Persephone and Hades and very, very good. Don't watch it because they end on an amazing cliffhanger and there will never be another season. But Chaos is very good. And so I was like, what haven't I seen? Coffee shop AU. Where can I go with that?
My very important question is, what breed of dog is Spot?
That is a very good question. I think Spot has to be a smaller dog in order to like sneak into a hospital and stuff. Like if he's a Saint Bernard, that's not going to work out. But he's not going to be like a Pomeranian, so maybe he's like,
make him a small pit bull.
Oh yeah, there you go. Do they have mini pit bulls?
Your breed standard Staffordshire Terrier is like smaller than you think he is.
Okay. Because my brother's pit bull was bigger than I thought she was.
Yeah, no. I think, if I remember rightly, breed standard Staffordshire Terrier is smaller than you think.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And obviously we have to figure out a way to indicate that he has 3 heads. You just can't see 2 of them. I'm thinking maybe he has 2 extra collars.
Oh, he just jingles.
I love this so much. It feels like it was specifically designed for my vibes.
Oh, also, I should give credit. I'm reading The Hearth Witch's Guide to Magic and Murder by Kiri Callahan right now, which is also a big inspiration because I'm reading a sort of coffee shop murder AU.
My first thought with the goth cafe, I was like, are we doing vampires? I was unsure, but I was like, ooh, very nice. Candlelight, blacked out windows.
Oh yeah, that's true. I could have gone vampires with that, but would Hades sparkle in the sunlight?
I mean,
no.
If people are getting caffeine at the night, no.
Put down the finger gun.
I swear, Mikey, if you turn this into Twilight, I'll break your kneecaps with a baseball bat.
In Minecraft.
In
Minecraft, yeah.
Oh, Ellie!
That's me.
It is your turn.
So this is Alex and Mike's first time in an episode with me. Sam, what is the movie scale that bears my name called?
Gay, weird, long.
No, those are the requirements for it. So I guess River then. What is it called?
Ellie, what the fuck?
So I endeavor to live my life as an artist by those terms. And so I was creating this pitch the way I always create stuff, just kind of vibing with ideas until I found one that I liked. And so when I was like 9 or 10, my dad had a big copy of the Iliad. Not like, the high school abridged, no, like the full version with ancient Greek text and everything. My dad reads ancient Greek. It's why I'm like, I never had a chance of being normal. I'm sorry. And so I read it. I read it when I was like 10 or 11. And there's a bit that's kind of stuck out for me ever since I've started engaging with modern retellings of Greek gods, which is, what's kind of bums me out? Greek gods are always kind of like dudes, ladies, fellas, people. And there's a bit in the Iliad where Ares, he's the only god allowed to basically show up at the Trojan War. Zeus has forbidden any other gods from interfering, but Ares just shows up and just slaughters people because that's what he does. And it doesn't even seem like he particularly wants to do it. He just has to. There is a war and he has to go slaughter, And so I want to pull the humanity out of the Greek gods when I'm writing the story. I want them to appear alien. I want them bound by rituals they don't really have a lot of choice in. And I want to then re-find the humanity in that space, where a being who is more ritual and worship than person, where you find the humanity in them. And this is the other thing that I always kind of wanted to do with the Greek gods, which is our interpretation of the Greek gods is not actually very similar to how the Greeks would have worshipped them. We've kind of like filtered Greek mythology through Christian thinking to create a kind of homunculus of Greek mythology. I'm aware I'm doing a lot of preamble. Bear with me. So the base ideas that I came up with, I started kicking back and forth until I came up with a pitch that I liked, is ritual and duality. So first off, why is every god just one person? Why are Artemis and Apollo two separate people? Why aren't they like one person at different times? Why are Zeus and Hera married? What if Zeus and Hera were kind of the same person? And so in this context, the Persephone who returns home to the underworld and the Persephone who leaves for 6 months are not the same people. The Persephone who's above ground for those 6 months, that's actually Demeter. And this is true for all of the Greek gods in my pitch, except for one, and that's Hades. Hades is one thing. And the thrust of the story is less about the taking of Persephone, because in this context, she's not taken in the traditional sense. She's not moved physically or emotionally. It is a ritual. Persephone returning to the underworld every 6 months and then leaving it 6 months later is a ritual she has no fundamental choice about, because that is what the Greek gods do. And this is one of those things that I feel like I want to bring us in pretty deep into this cycle where Hades, for whatever reason, is really fucking sick of this, because there is still a human being underneath Hades. He is really sick of, my wife just walks out a completely different person 6 months later, because every other god in this context isn't forced to change. Artemis and Apollo are Apollo when they feel like being Apollo, and Artemis when they feel like being Artemis. If you're noticing that I'm doing some gender fuckery, congrats. I kind of do that sometimes. And so the thrust of the story is Hades tries to find his other half, which is the half of him that can love Persephone above the ground. And just to spoil, because the pitch is going to be really boring if I don't spoil what Hades' other half is Gaia. So we're sort of creating a version of this story where everyone kind of has to act the way they do because they're doomed to, and finding out how they feel about that, how Persephone feels at the end of those 6 months with her husband, or I guess wife also, and has to leave the underworld. Doesn't matter what she wants to do. Doesn't matter if she feels like it. You have to go above ground. You have to be Demeter for the next 6 months, because that is how the gods work. And I don't know if I've really kicked together a full plot. I'm not really the type who pitches cast or, soundtrack, because I've never been under the impression that anyone's going to want to read anything I make. But this is the kind of story that I would want to read, and it's therefore the kind of story that I would want to write, which is how I write stuff. I create stuff primarily for me, and if it's interesting enough, I hope you'll come along for the ride. That is my pitch.
Ellie, I am going to fight your insecurities with my Lysistrata scissors.
Have fun with that. Questions, comments, criticisms. Ellie, what the fucks?
Yeah, no, but this is definitely very Ellie, what the fuck. It's very cerebral. It's really interesting.
I do that.
Is it Aristotelian?
I'm not positive what you mean.
So I believe it's Aristotle who practiced the theory that said once upon a time humanity was essentially dual people, and then Zeus split them in half.
That thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that speech from the Xena episode.
No, I don't love that particular myth.
Well, of course not. You're polyamorous.
And even if that was the case, again, part of what makes this, I feel like, a pitch, like when I say I don't think anyone would want to read it, like, this isn't me saying I think it's bad. I don't know if I necessarily say anything I'd make is bad, except all the stuff that I actually make.
Scissors, Ellie, scissors!
But, nothing is bad until nothing I make is bad until I've made it. Then it's bad, obviously. Come on.
Stop it.
Stop it. Stop.
No. I'm having a point here. There is a distinction I'm trying to draw between I think it's bad and Jesus, what am I even fucking writing here? Why, I don't know if this is going to appeal to a lot of people. It's kind of just me in my own head about stuff.
That's the best stuff though, right?
And who cares if it necessarily appeals to everybody? Like, it's interesting. This is so profoundly Ellie pitch. And that's awesome.
I will add for the Cerberus bribe, Cerberus has only one head, but depending on which angle you look at, it's either dead head, alive head, or half and half.
That's
acceptable.
Awesome.
Very cool.
Schrodinger's Cerberus.
Schrodinger's Cerberus.
I will say, Ellie, I know of at least one person, if not 5. I think I could probably come up with 5 who would be very excited by this pitch and want to see it. I love what you're doing with the duality of the gods and how that plays with gender and soul and personality, and like that's really interesting. So stop beating yourself up.
No.
All right, folks, it is now time for last minute bribes.
Sam, your bribery.
Bribery is going to be Cerberus likes Talus after not liking any of the people who tried to make a move on Persephone. Melanoi and Macaria do a shovel talk to Thalus that involves holding up mint leaves and mentioning this is the last person who tried to fuck with their mother's love life. Thanatos is here and is effectively filling the gay best friend role to all 3 of these women, and is also in like a situationship with Hermes.
Okay.
And Cerberus is a Staffordshire Bull Terrier, and each of his heads has a big spot on either one or both of his eyes, so like left, right, center. Stafford for bribes.
Absolutely good puppy. Gillian, your bribery.
Good puppy.
Good Bobby. Gillian, your bribery.
I have not modernized Steph's mom, but she is not a villain. She is a concerned mom. Like, come over on the weekends. You have not talked to me in the last couple months. I thought you were a missing person. I've gone over this entire town, and they keep telling me that she's an adult, and I shouldn't be concerned about this. But also, you do you.
Justice for Demeter!
Yes! Cora has 2 friends named Taya and Pythia who try to hit on Steph, and she's not about that. They're Theseus and Pirithous, but also, hey, mama's lesbians.
All right, fair enough. Alex, last minute bribery.
Okay, for my last minute bribery, Cerberus is a fluffy Pomeranian and is essentially just the most adorable dog you will ever see in your life. Big eyes on all 3 heads, just the fluffiest coat of fur. Basically, it was the embodiment of cuteness. This is the Cerberus.
Understandable. Acceptable. Mike, last minute bribery.
Yes, I have made a slight change to Cerberus, who is going to be a pit bull indeed in the coffee shop underworld. But in the real world, he is going to be, what is that dog called? Come on, list of smallest dogs. Tell me. Yorkshire Terrier.
Incredible. No notes.
I love how we all went for like scrunkly, smaller dogs instead of like big, scary dogs.
But consider, I do love a big puppy.
Like, I don't think a Greek Shepherd isn't that small of a dog, but...
No, he's a go blobby.
Yeah, a Yorkshire Terrier, not a Greek Terrier. The little
all
guys.
Yeah, understandable.
Okay. And also, I think Demeter is going to get a redemption arc in the story as I think about it. I don't know if that's a bribe or not, but I think she's going to start out being, the very unsupportive mom, and then over the course of her visit, learn to love her daughter as her daughter.
Fair enough. If we can't get it in real life, we might as well strive for it in fiction.
Goddamn
Exactly.
right. We gotta give examples to these fucking parents.
Oh, Ellie, last minute bribery?
Well, in my case, as part of a punchline about Rome, Cerberus is an Italian greyhound.
What else do I got? Well, we've obviously got a lot of pastel for goth. We've also got goth for goth, pastel for pastel. We've got a lot of gender fuckery, which I know that you love. Demeter is obviously not a villain because Demeter is also Persephone. What else do I got? What else do I got that I could bribe River or Jasmine with? Extremely gay, Jasmine. It's really sapphic. Just trust me. I will find a way.
I did ask, is Hades just a hot butch in this?
I was kind of debating going directly there. The answer is yes, because if I'm writing it and I'm writing, not everything I write needs to have a romance, but if it has a romance, I'm not going to write a straight romance. What are you fucking talking about? What do you hate me for? But even if it didn't, Hades' alternate form is Gaia, so, and that's like the life-death duality thing.
Life came before death.
Strength before weakness, journey before destination.
Wouldn't Gaia's other half be Than? Then never mind. Justice for my boy Than.
Thanatos and Melanui are the same person. I was kicking it back and forth. I was actually thinking that I want Zagreus and Melanoi to be there as the same person. And I was thinking about Thanatos, but I really wanted the life and death thing. And Gaia made sense since Gaia is a Titan, why she hasn't been seen in centuries.
It could be a case of just like Than is his own thing, because Than is the guy who comes for death. Than's primordial. He's Nyx's kid. He is older than all of them.
You have to say, like, Than could maybe be like the opposite of chaos. Death is perfect order. Life is perfect chaos.
Yeah.
I mean, I think if we're following anything from, Hades, the video game, you should just make Than merge with Zagreus, because God knows he's done it before. Heyo!
No, you can't bring in Hades, the video game, from this, because if we do, then I have to go on a 45-minute tangent about my wife.
Put Nemesis down.
She's gonna have to put me down. Have you seen that?
Yeah, right?
She's 8 feet tall and she's mean to me, River.
The first time I saw Nemesis, I was just like, oh, I am gonna need a minute.
I can't I don't understand it. I'm not that flavor of Dami Sapphic.
That's fine. More for the rest of us.
All right, I'll go do some math numbers. I will be back.
Well, I guess we do that one thing we did last time. What was it called again?
Superlatives.
Yeah, that.
Superlatives.
Yes, so first up, we're going to do The Ruins of Love by Sam Marchioni. What are some of our superlatives for that?
Most likely to win an Oscar, because it really seems like that kind of thing that would.
Most likely to be extremely well thought out world building.
Agreed.
Oh, you mean because I went on a tangent about ancient Roman greenhouse carts?
What? No.
Most likely to have some weird discourse.
Yeah. Also, if it was made by Sony, most likely to be sold to Netflix.
Most likely to not be promoted at all and suddenly become the smash hit of the last 10 years.
Most likely to have some bitchin' cover art.
With sprayed edges with a really fancy design.
Yeah. Most likely to have a unanimous Goodreads score.
Most likely to be put in the Criterion Collection.
This is very impressive. I didn't know the Criterion Collection did books. You got the part where I was pitching this as a book, right?
No, because you started with Anakin and Padme, so I stopped
Yes,
paying attention to what...
I thought it was a movie. Damn it.
Also,
That
Curse my
got
own
rid of all
trolling
mine.
nature.
I know that I'm the DVD freak here, but, like, is it the most likely to be placed? Criterion Collection puts some weird movies in there.
Listen, K-pop Demon
Ellie.
Hunters is getting a Criterion
I know.
release, so...
Thank fuck.
But anyway.
Ellie, I know you're not a big fan of K-pop Demon Hunters, but physical media.
No,
you know
I'm-
this, you understand this. You, like me, have a hoard upon which you could sleep.
I don't dislike K-pop Demon Hunters. I don't get it. But also, like, I don't have to get all the movies in the Criterion Collection. Armageddon is in the Criterion Collection.
Well, was.
So anyway.
No, it's still
But
in
anyway,
the collection.
most likely to have a slow burn of a rabid Tumblr fan base that get very stoked when it gets adapted.
True.
And then very angry about the adaptation. Not necessarily for any, mistakes that were made, but just because, the dress was supposed to be blue.
True.
I know what you just referenced there, Mike, and Anyway, also most likely to have like section of the fan base that's just like, wait, we have a delicious post-apocalyptic landscape here, considering it's an ice age for the humans that keeps on going up and down whenever Persephone goes to Earth. So you've got this section that's just writing extensive stories that take place in the post-apocalyptic world and has almost nothing to do with the actual story. Just so many different OCs.
Most likely for Book Talk to misunderstand it.
Sorry, Sam. There's always got to be at least one evil one.
All right.
Alternatively, most likely to be on Book Talk recommendations. The Duality of Man.
The Duality
And Book Talk.
Man.
Most likely to become an incredibly popular book talk topic and then not have the author turn out to be deeply problematic in some way.
True.
Gillian's?
Most likely to get some poly shipping.
Most likely to be one of those books that Ellie, like, recommends to everyone, but no one actually reads.
Most likely to be cosplayed at conventions.
Most likely to have some really good, like, since it's a book you're pitching here, Gillian, right?
But I had casting. I did not say. I was thinking like either.
Okay.
It's versatile.
I was gonna say, like, if it's a book, it's most likely to have a bunch of Tumblr edits where they make GIFs out of different TV shows, and most of them will, for some reason, include Katie McGrath.
I have Steph played by Liza Silverano, Cora Alihi Carvalho.
Gillian, you could have used these as bribe points. What are you doing?
Also, I think Steph's mom, Tia Carrere.
Fair enough.
The voice of Nani Pelikai herself. Perfect.
Most likely, for people to want to write fan fiction, or like it's mostly about secondary characters, because you've got a very well realized secondary cast.
Folks are going on side quest. Cora's like, no, she cannot be your third, guys.
Also, I will do the evil one, most likely to have whitewashed fan art.
Yeah.
Pain.
I saw Alihi as Janice Ian, and that was one of the 3 good parts of Mean Girls. Honey, 4. Never mind, 4 good parts. Renee Rapp, Alihi, Jaquel, and Avantika as Karen.
Fair.
Alex is most likely to get trapped in funding hell as Leica can't get the money to fund it.
Chloe.
Most likely to get the Mockbuster allegations.
Most likely to have songs added to slightly insane Spotify playlists.
Most likely to have a batshit voice cast.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Most likely to have some beautiful Tumblr gift sets comparing it to Corpse Bride and Nightmare Before Christmas.
I can see it.
Most likely to get nominated for Best Animated Feature and then lose to whatever bad movie Pixar put out this year. Bam!
Oh wait! Damn it!
I'll be okay about that someday.
Most likely to have stocked Hot Topic merch.
At least I'll make money off that.
A whole end cap, at least.
I can't tell if that's a compliment.
I'd say complimentary because we've been too mean.
The thing about Hot Topic merch is that, like, it depends on if it's, like, her universe doing shit, or if it's just whatever t-shirts they got that week, because her universe swings wildly in quality, but like when the stuff is good, it hits like a truck.
And the sizing also gets wonky when they try to do plus size. Like, no, my boobs are down here, Ashley.
And they only made Lando's cape once and have not reprinted it. Why are you doing this to me?
Yeah, it's like, and it's weird, and it's very fucking weird because they're all owned by the same company as Torrid. No, you could do better than this.
Oh, most likely to have fun lounge fly bags.
I can see it.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say, on a merchandise topic, most likely to have a really nice-looking jacket in box lunch.
All right, Mike's. I will say most likely to get Keanu Reeves in the cast. I am determined to get Keanu Reeves Hades! Give me Keanu Reeves Hades!
Keanu Reeves will be in the movie version, and he will play the voice of Spot. Spot does not talk.
Most likely to have a plushie.
Oh.
Yeah, I can see it.
They're gonna put so much money in figuring out how to do, like, the Spot holographic plushie.
Most likely to inspire really bad discourse. I will not elaborate.
Yeah.
No, you're right, and you should say it, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Most likely to have some surprisingly good Valentine's Day cards.
Ooh.
Like, just emphasizing the contrast between the black and the pink, all of the coffee shop imagery, and of course, Spot. I think that'd be really cute.
Most likely to have a plethora of fan fiction that is not coffee shop AU. For example, tattoo artist florist.
Oh, I'm shocked no one did that for this, to be honest.
I DM'd River, Hades and Persephone, tattoo artist florist. Hades is the florist.
I'm debating. Actually, I think I have to give this one to you, Mike. Most likely to have fan fiction that falls out the other end of the serial numbers filed off pipeline.
Ooh.
I was gonna say it's gonna be a coffee shop AU that inspires an epic mythological Greek fan fiction.
Most likely to get us an actual replica of the coffee shop in some theme park out there.
True.
I need this so bad.
That would be cool.
Most likely to get the Hadestown Wait For Me edits.
Yeah.
It's coming.
Alright, and then finally Ellie. Most likely to inspire just the most insane discourse you've ever seen in your fucking life. Most likely to spawn academic papers.
There we go. I was like, let's be real.
Most likely to be directed by Christopher Nolan.
Meh.
That might be the meanest things anyone said about my I'm out. God.
I'm sorry, but
Ellie,
to me,
Ellie,
sounds
wait,
like
I
something
can pull
he
you
would
back.
do.
I can pull you back. Most likely to have Katie O'Brien in the cast.
Okay.
Most likely to be directed by Jane Schonbrun.
There we go. Sam got me. No, but also let's be real. People who do shitty Tumblr discourse do not read the stuff I'm talking about over here.
Most likely to have biblically accurate angel edits of each of the forms and like shitty comic fans, affectionate, be not afraid.
Yep.
Most likely to be the subject of a sermon by my best friend Jairus at the First Church of the Morning Star, a Satanist church in San Francisco.
To be honest, most likely to be just played at so many artsy film festivals.
That's where I'm aiming to end up.
Most likely to have absolutely Renaissance level fan art.
Yes.
Let's go.
Yeah.
I can see it.
Most likely to have the Adam hand redrawn
And unfortunately, probably most likely to be played at like one theater that's like 50 miles away.
Look, it gets played at one theater per state for like 3 weeks, and then it goes to streaming where everyone's always like, yeah, I meant to watch that.
Yeah. To be honest, I think yours would be the one most likely to at least get Oscar nominated.
No, wait, I got it. I got the director down. Most likely to be picked up by the guy who did Mad God.
Meh.
True.
You know what, Gillian and Sam, get my vibe.
Most likely to be responsible for several extremely queer couples getting together at the one showing at a movie theater 20 miles away from everything.
Most likely to crack
someone's egg.
Yeah, there you go. Like, if I can crack some eggs and get some girls kissing, that's all I want out of my art.
Yep.
Most likely to win a cosplay contest.
Most likely to have people going, I don't get it.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, are we ready for the ranking?
Yes.
Always.
God.
All right, let's roll.
In fifth... By the way, the way I calculated this score is I took Jazz's finalized numbers, I took my finalized numbers, I added them together, and that's how we did the ranking, simply because it was going to make the easiest math, because I was not about to do averages at 2 o'clock in the afternoon without a calculator. What am I, insane? In fifth place is Alex with 31 points.
Seriously?
Yes, you lost a bit in the prep and a bit in the thematics, but you got relatively decent in the whimsigoth and the romance. In fourth place, we got Gillian and Ellie tied at 37.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Woo!
In second place, we've got Sam with 41. Okay. And in first place, picking the pitch that is somehow tailored to everyone in the room, Mike with 42 points.
I know how to pander!
The answer to life, the universe, and everything!
Woo! Thank you, guys. That's
I'm not
awesome.
even mad to have lost. I'm not even mad.
That was a lot of fun. I think if I ever come back, I'm just going to make up the story while everyone else is pitching again.
I'm very happy with my spot because it once again proves that Gillian and I are on the same wavelength.
Real.
Yeah.
Got that Bluetooth brain,
And
unfortunately.
in fairness, Alex, I will say, as River pointed out, I'm probably a lot kinder when it comes to scoring than they are, or at the very least, I'm more generous, I guess is the better term. So, Alex, I will say, with mine, you would have been in second place.
Hey, I'll take second place.
Bring down the law of averages. Anyway,
Yes.
I do believe that is everything I have planned. I am not pitching anything this time because, as I told Gillian, I just like to participate. I don't have anything this time. No, I'm not parent trapping Hades and Persephone, though it would be really easy to do.
Yeah.
I would be, actually.
It'd be too easy, honestly. I think that's just low-hanging fruit.
Yeah, true. Anyway, final thoughts, everyone?
That was a lot of fun. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I had a good time.
Give me Keanu Reeves Hades and Winona Ryder Persephone, or give me death.
Jane Schoenbraun, you don't have to like direct my Persephone pitch, but do you want to be friends? Do you want to be friends? I feel like we'd be good friends.
I'll just switch out my cast. Keanu will do Hades. Winona will do Persephone. Why not?
Way too late to...
Francis Ford Coppola,
I know.
sit the fuck down.
I know.
Sit down, Francis.
Who's got stuff to plug?
I suppose I can go first since I am the rom-com aficionado. Hello, I'm River. You can find me on Blue Sky at Dreams Rebel. You can find me on my own website, blog.filmlion.online. You can find me on Letterboxd at punk_skeleton. I am the host of The Straights Aren't All Right, a podcast where I gather a bunch of queer people together, make them watch straight rom-coms, and try to answer the question, are the straights like okay? I just had an episode, as of this recording, come out yesterday, where Jazz and Gillian judge me for my taste in movies.
I wasn't judging that hard. At least I don't think I do.
You can
Is the answer to that question ever yes?
Sometimes.
So far for 2 Disney movies.
Oh, well, okay.
You can find that wherever pods are cast and on Blue Sky at aren'tallrightpodcom. Ding.
I am the host of 6 Degrees of Star Wars, the podcast where we explore all the ways George Lucas's flagship franchise surrounds us, binds us, and penetrates us in the landscape of cinema. We recently did an episode on the most Oscar-nominated of all time dinners. 6 Degrees of Star Wars, available wherever pods are cast, but if you're more interested in Oscar shit...
I'm Ellie McConaughey, and you can find my podcast, The Biggest Night in Podcasting, where we talk about Oscar-winning films. We've got an episode coming up on the actual most Oscar-winningest movie of all time, Ben-Hur. And whenever this comes out, we'll probably have a recent episode on Arthur. If you'd rather hear me talk about politics and being gay, you can find me on Blue Sky, Letterboxd, and Medium at LSR42, or you can find me on Tumblr at Football in Tuxedos. Letterboxd and Medium at LSR42, or you can find me on Tumblr at Football in Tuxedos.
I am currently the host of Nothing, and you can find my podcast nowhere, but you can find me on the socials at Cutie Puppy Fire. And that's all.
What up, everybody? My name is Mikey Fatum. You can find me on Blue Sky at Vengeance God and Unbroken Infinity Films on Instagram. I stream every day, Tuesday through Friday at twitch.tv/Vengeance God. We play a lot of fun games there. But most importantly, please go to leagueofswords.com and check out my show, The League of Swords. It is professional wrestling with sword fights. And if that sounds interesting to you at all, you will love it. So I will hopefully see you over there.
As for myself, of course, I've got my YouTube channel, Dreamworker Studios. We are still trying to get some of our shows off the ground, including a Haunted Mansion fan series. I'm also part of a new VR haunt, VRHN. I do Beetlejuice there in their Slash Bar.
And for this week's Heroes Call to Action, unfortunately, everything continues to happen so much. So instead of one particular thing, I am going to guide you towards mobilize.us, which is a website that helps you find volunteer opportunities, petitions, and protest events in your area. Because one of the best ways to stop feeling powerless is to really go out there and do some good work. And as always, you can find me at Faye Riviera on all the socials. And please consider checking out this podcast's Tumblr page, inichetellingpodcast.tumblr.com. Please consider using the podcatcher of your choice to rate and review us, and spread the word about us where you can. Maybe you have friends who will like our Muppet episodes, or maybe you'll have friends who will like it when we talk more about Jane Austen. One of my goals within Reach Retelling is that there is truly, almost certainly, an episode for everyone. And if you have room in your wallets, please consider donating to our Patreon. Our various tiers give you access to episodes a little bit early. It gives you access to our IER book club that I started during the hiatus. And it gets you a direct thank you in the credits, such as for Kyle Calgren, Connor Duffy, and Juan Garcia. Thanks so much for your contributions. This is making it all the more likely that this podcast keeps going. You can also support us through our Ko-Fi or the Support the Show link below. However you choose to support us, however, just the fact that you are listening to us means the world to us and helps us reach the next chapter of our story. And speaking of the next chapter of our story, well, spring is still underway, and we've got a lot of plans for spring, but as you may have noticed, dear listeners, we have been having some scheduling issues as of late. But we have a lot of fun stuff ahead, and hopefully I'll be able to at last fulfill a promise that I made almost 2 years ago now. But until then, we hope you will join us, and remember, stories gain power in each retelling.